All right, so I guess we should take a moment to let's go over the Payback card. It makes sense. Spend a little time. This was a go-home Monday Night Raw, so we're headed into the Premium Live event. 6 matches. 6 matches on the card right now, and in a Grayson Waller segment. So either we get a last-minute addition, or these are the matches that we have, and these matches will actually be given some real room to breathe. Bloodline absent from the card. Some like it, some don't like it. I'm a fan. I think we needed a breath away from that story. So I'm okay seeing what other people can do. This is a good point in the year to kind of test the water and see, hey, who could sink or swim? Now, there's a part of me that's scared that they tried to last minute throw something on the card like Jimmy versus Solo just for the name value, just to get the bloodline involved. But, I don't know if that match makes sense. But, look at the card. What's the main event on this card? It's got to be Seth versus Shinsuke, right? World Heavyweight Championship match. That makes sense. But this Premium Live event, man, it's a big moment for guys like LA Knight. Him and The Miz can steal the show. I think this card is primed for one of the undercard matches to kind of show up and show out. I really do. I don't know that Seth and Shinsuke will be the most talked about match come Sunday after Payback. So 6 matches. Let's run through them. I'm going to give you unofficial predictions without a lot of thought, but we'll talk about it. I think I'll give official predictions closer to Payback. Let's go Becky Trish. Steel cage. Thoughts on this? This is absolutely the end of this story. I think it's run its course. There was a part of me that said I thought this was going to continue on, but I don't think so. I think the audience has had enough of this storyline. I don't think this hit quite the way that Triple H intended it to. I think they wanted this to feel like this was a match set up to claim who's the GOAT of the women's division, and instead, I think they just drugged this out until it overstayed its welcome. Pretty confident this is a Becky moment. I see Becky winning this match. I think there'll be shenanigans by Trish. I could see Lita or a surprise appearance here. I'm gonna unofficially take Becky Lynch, but there's a part of me that thinks Becky and Seth could be taking a vacation and that Trish may be moving forward into something else, maybe something against Zoe Stark. So maybe there's a possibility Trish goes over, but as of right now, unofficial prediction, Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. There's 2 solid women's matches representing WWE on this card. I know that everybody wants to sleep on this card and kind of say, this is a down event, but there's a lot of young and fresh talent on this card that's going to be looking to establish themselves in that Premium Live event spectrum. Guys like LA Knight and I think Raquel Rodriguez, they have something to prove. And like I said, this event has breathing room for somebody to kind of show up and show out. So this Premium Live event feels eerily similar to Backlash to me, which ended up being a phenomenal show. And I'm not going to make the same mistake I did pre-Backlash and shit all over the card again. I think that Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, I think it'll be a physical match. But I think, at this point, I'd bet the house on the fact that Rhea Ripley walks out of here as champion. If I was booking this show, I would have Raquel Rodriguez steal one here and begin kind of a back and forth between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez that lasts all the way through WrestleMania. And let's get an actual rivalry going in WWE. One that feels balanced and not just 50-50 booking, but I'm talking serious kind of title going back and forth. We don't know who kind of the alpha is in that story. That would work. Don't think it's going to happen. Unofficial pick. WWE plays it safe. Rhea Ripley rolls on. Theory versus Rey Mysterio. Not too many expectations here. I think this may be possibly a setup for like a Santos heel turn. I don't think this is ultimately Theory's story anymore. I think he's kind of be written out of it. I think we're just closing the chapter on Theory. I think it's a safe bet that Rey Mysterio retains here. Would be, if we're playing fantasy booking, this would be a slick way for Theory to kind of gain some heat back if he was able to cheat his way to victory and regain the title. And I'm not going to lie, there's an opportunity here for a crazy moment and a crazy pop if Gargano and Loomis were to come out and help Theory pick up the victory against LWO here. None of them really have that much going on that you need to protect them. I think that they would work as a group. I think you would get a lot of entertainment value out of bringing that group back together. Why not? None of them are really doing anything. You could just take a shot here. Gargano could lead a group that was just hell-bent on protecting Austin Theory's United States Championship, leading ultimately to the group breaking up around WrestleMania and doing Austin Theory versus Johnny Gargano in a proper feud. Wishful thinking, probably not going to happen. Unofficial prediction, Rey Mysterio retains his title. KO and Sammy versus the Judgment Day. This one's fun. Because I don't know. I'm not confident in what I'm about to say here, but I'm going to say it. I think the titles are in jeopardy. I really do. I think this is the end of Sammy and KO. And I was asked in the Discord to talk about how I would book WWE out of the disaster that is the tag team division and having unified belts. How do you separate them? How do you move forward from this point? This is it. This is the prime moment. This has been set up. I hope this is the intention, even though I have doubts that it is. This is your moment to split these belts up. What you do is you have Finn Balor and Damian Priest win the belts at Payback, which leads to a couple weeks of them bickering back and forth, arguing as champions, defend it a couple times, figure out ways to overcome and win. But ultimately, every time they win, there should be this push and pull tension between the two. And then it all comes to a boiling point where they decide at a certain point in time, they just can't be partners. Look, we're not leaving the Judgment Day. We just can't be partners. So what they do is they take those two sets of belts, and Damian walks off with one of those sets of belts, and he goes, Dom, you're my new tag team partner. The precedent's already been set with Piper Niven. So this isn't we're not in uncharted territory here. We're allowed to just now pick new tag team partners. So Damian picks Dom, Finn picks JD, and now we have two separate tag team champions within the Judgment Day. Now we get JD integrated kind of on the outside, but inside of Judgment Day, we have Damian and Dom as tag team champions. And what you do is you have Damian and Dom go over to SmackDown, drop those belts to someone like the Street Profits, and there you go. You've got the belts broken up. You've got Finn and JD with a set of belts on Raw. You have Damian and Dom losing those belts, which leads to more turmoil within the Judgment Day. Damian can go on at that point in time. That'll be months down the road. He can cash in, win the World Heavyweight Championship, and all will be well in the world of the tag team division. That's how you do it. Unofficial prediction, I think Judgment Day wins the tag team belts. I don't know what WWE chooses to do with them. Seth versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This is Shinsuke's moment. You don't turn him heel. You don't give him this opportunity if you're not pulling the trigger at this point. The crowd is ready for this. Seth could use a break. He needs time to heal up. He needs to go away. He's kind of oversaturated. I think him and Becky, it's prime time. Let them take a vacation. Let them enjoy their family. Let them go enjoy life. They've given and given and given to this business. Let them both heal up. They can both return at Royal Rumble to enormous pop. And I think that the WWE will be fine without those two for the next couple of months. So let them do that. Shinsuke makes a great transitional champion. And I know people don't like when I say that, but that's what he's going to be. Shinsuke is going to be a transitional champion until they decide whatever's going on with Damian Priest, and they decide for him to cash in. It'll inevitably be more than likely on Shinsuke Nakamura. And so we're going to get to see 3 or 4 months of what Shinsuke can do as a world champion. We'll get to see what the IWC has been clamoring about for so long. This will keep the Shinsuke heel run alive. And I think it's all kind of written in the stars here. Prediction and new World Heavyweight Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. I saved the best for last here. LA Knight versus The Miz. It's put up or shut up time. This is it, man. We've been clamoring for this. We've all been yelling. I claim to have funerals. I've been upset. I've lost my mind. But this is it. This is the test. This is LA Knight has climbed to the top of a mountain. And he can either transfer over to that megastar mountain and continue climbing, or he can walk off the other side and just start to descend back down to normalcy. You know, the IWC, they say he can't be that guy. So he has to deliver. And if he delivers at Payback, the chains are off, man. The rocket ignites. The sky is the limit for LA Knight. So where do you go with him if he delivers? Your guess is as good as mine. But this match has so many implications beyond what's just on the surface for LA Knight. You know, did The Miz steal the spotlight on Monday Night Raw? Yeah. Did he shift some of the momentum? Yeah. So now we've got to see LA Knight be able to recover from a solid Miz appearance and put on a show. He's got a SmackDown and he's got a premium live event to win the crowd back. Prediction? LA Knight wins. I think that goes without saying, but that's not the important part here. The big key is, does LA Knight show up? Does he leave Payback still looking like a snowball rolling downhill, growing and getting bigger? Or does he leave Payback with everybody going, flash in the pan? Not the real deal. Can't hold his own against, when he gets put in the big leagues, can't hold his own. My prediction is he shows up and shows out, but we'll have to wait to see. Last, we're getting a Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes. I'm guessing that this either turns into some kind of squash match, or this sets up Cody's next story. My bet is that it's Cody versus Waller just to appease the crowd. Would be fun, though. This would be fun. This is an opportunity here. If WWE wants to throw in a nice little surprise, get your spoiler alerts ready here. This could be a good time to return Randy. Randy Orton could make an appearance here. I have no expectation. I don't really think it's going to be Randy Orton. I just want to throw that into the world. Maybe it'll happen, but I expect some sort of surprise during this segment. You don't book this on a premium live event if it's just set up to kind of be a time filler. I think that this will set up Cody's next big story, and it's more than likely going to be somebody we're not expecting. So I know a lot of people are down on this card, but I have a very kind of tried and true system I use going into a premium live event that I call the 3-point metric. And that 3-point metric gauges my excitement for a premium live event. When I look at the card, I kind of look at how many matches do I have an emotional connection to. If it's less than 3, I'm not invested. Those are the cards that I shit on, right? If it's 3 or more, I usually feel like that's enough to pique my interest and get the nerdy D excitement train going, which is right now we're fucking going right now. If you look at this card, Miz versus LA Knight, I'm invested. I have emotional investment in that. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day, I got an emotional investment in that. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez, I think I got emotional investment in that. Theory versus Mysterio, I think there's potential. I'm curious. Becky versus Trish, I'm tired, but I'm curious. And then Seth versus Shinsuke, I'm absolutely excited about. I think the possibilities are endless. So there's 4 matches there for sure that I'm excited about. And the other 2 that are on the card, I'm not mad at.
Step in the ring, if you ready, let's go. Ay, casual wrestling community show. You already know, talking WWE. Keep it rolling and hosted by Notorious Nerdy D. Don't be sure that you gon' find. Tune in cause it's online. Hit 'em with a figure 4 leg lock, power driver or clothesline. We bringing that heat like the show, but you should already know.